This video was sponsored by OceanGate. Hey, what's up y'all? I'm back with some more WoW slop for you all to consume. Vashj'ir is known to be one of the more enjoyable zones in the game, seeing as underwater-based travel has always been something that people have enjoyed in any video game. In fact, it's a complete surprise to me that nobody ever visits this zone other than for attempts at the seahorse. But hey, that means there's probably some gold to make, right? With no competition? Well, in this video, I'm going to show y'all how you can be making a metric ton of gold in Vashj'ir. Anyways, let's just dive right in. Get it? Like, dive? Cause it's underwater? The first farm that you could be doing in Vashj'ir is obviously farming the Rains of Poseidus. If you aren't familiar with the mount, then you have to legit be living under a rock or are a classic only player, cause this mount has been around for eons and is relatively inexpensive nowadays. Now, while it's not a guaranteed kill every time you visit, I would recommend just parking an alt near the rare spawns location and checking every now and then, since you'll never know when he'll be up. The several times I've been able to secure Poseidus kills have all been at his Abyssal Depth spawn location, just like in the video you're watching, so if you're gonna park, I would personally recommend doing it here. The mount sells for around 8,000 gold on my server at the moment, so it's definitely a nice paycheck that takes no effort to acquire. Staying on the topic of rares, the world boss Mobus is a mob that you for sure need to make an effort to secure kills on, as his loot pool is easily valued over 1 million gold in combined value, meaning that a kill is a chance at turning your pupils into dollar signs. With a spawn timer of around 2 to 4 hours on top of that, much like Poseidus, he's easily parkable and definitely worth it too, since he has a chance to drop items like the pattern rhinestone sunglasses, which currently list for over 200,000 on my server, and the pattern high society top hat, which currently lists for nearly 500,000 gold on my server. Unlike the Rains of Poseidus, you'll have a harder time selling these, but it's like I always say, just keep listing, cause you're literally just one list away from that big sale. Speaking of the Abyssal Depths, I'd like to take a moment to fulfill a contractual obligation. Today's video is sponsored by OceanGate Private Submersible Services. OceanGate provides easy access, cost-effective, manned submersible operations for clients needing underwater site surveys and inspections, research and data collection, access for film and media production, or platforms for deep-sea testing of technology and innovation. OceanGate's team of professionals provides safe, efficient, and effective operations, meaning that you're nearly guaranteed to have a titan of a time while using their services. I'd like to thank OceanGate for sponsoring this video. Let's get right back into it. Getting into the more tangible gold farms, you can actually farm a decent amount of obsidian in Vashj'ir. The route that I would personally recommend you take is here in the Shimmering Expanse, since there's a decent amount of nodes to hit, and the respawns are fast enough that by the time you've completed a lap, the nodes will have respawned. Now, farming for an hour yielded me 482 obsidian for a total of 7,000 gold, which is a pretty good rate for a pretty obscure farm in a pretty obscure zone. Sticking in the realm of tangible gold farming for the average player, you can also farm a decent amount of Vashj'ir's Veil and Stormvine in Vashj'ir. The route that I would recommend you take is much like the Obsidian farm, located here in the Shimmering Expanse, since you'll be able to see the most amount of nodes while farming here. Farming here for an hour yielded me 633 different herbs for a total of around 5,200 gold, which is pretty decent considering, much like the Obsidian farm, it's a pretty obscure farm in a pretty obscure zone, on top of the fact that most normal people would be farming both at the same time as opposed to just one. Anyways guys, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, swag, leave a like. If you didn't, my dad literally works for Microsoft and is going to ban your account, dude. Heh, you did this to yourself. I got more content in the works, so subscribe, and as always, peace.